Hi, everybody, and welcome to Season 1, Episode 30 of Power Networking Media's weekly feature program, Spotlight on Small Business. I'm your host, Moshe Klein. Spotlight introduces you to successful small business owners who share content and information that you don't want to miss. Today, we're all very privileged to have as our guest Ray Silverstein. Ray's my friend and networking partner. He is an entrepreneur extraordinaire. He's an author. I have a copy of a book that I just gobbled up that he graciously gave to me. We'll touch on that in a minute. You're a public speaker and so much more, but specifically, and over the past number of years, you've been facilitating a peer resource group called President's Resource Organization. So, Ray, welcome to the program. Tell us a little bit about your peer group that I just mentioned.
Oh, thank you, Moshe. I appreciate your being here or inviting me. A peer advisory group is really a group of non-competitive business owners, CEOs, presidents, uh, C-level executives that meet in a meeting once a month with the facilitator, namely me. So I tell people I get to be your mentor and your tormentor. The object of a peer advisory group is to bring issues or opportunities to the group to get experience and insight from others who have walked that line or possibly have a thought that might help you or warn you. So I got involved with this because previously I owned two companies and I used to participate in this type of activity, which helped me grow the company substantially.
Ray, I'm going to pull on a thread that you just mentioned and that you mention in this wonderful book that you wrote. And I want to just ask you, in your own words, to talk about the difference between a networking group, which we're both very well familiar with, and a peer resource group. I don't think that most small business owners really appreciate the nuances.
Okay. The A lot of people, you're correct. A lot of people do get confused between the two. A networking group is basically to meet others and primarily to expand business, looking for introductions, looking for connections. You get that from a peer advisory group, but that's not the main purpose to join. The main purpose to participate and join is that you really are looking for camaraderie. You're looking for people who can help you with issues. And you have to be open and be willing to put issues on the table and also willing to take criticism. If you think you know it all, it's not the type of activity for you. So the other aspect is there's also accountability. When you say something, that's why I said I'm a mentor and tormentor. When you say something, I will ask you, what is your progress? What have you done? We try to move you forward to accomplish what you want to accomplish.
You know, Ray, there's a saying in business that it's lonely at the top. And I love networking. I've been networking for decades, and I've met some wonderful business connections that for decades I really have called them friends as well. But a networking group, Ray, is not necessarily a place where I would want to confide in my networking partners some of the challenges that I might be experiencing as a business owner. And I certainly may not want to publicly share some marketing strategies, with the world and on social media. So give us an example, real briefly, of something that a business owner like you or myself might want to share in a peer resource a group setting, and how that setting can help a business owner resolve an issue.
Okay, well, you're correct. It is lonely at the top, and that's really the byline of this type of activity of peer advisory type groups. The Some issues that people bring is that I've had circumstances where a party says we are a family business, we are fourth generation, and my son doesn't seem to be able to make it. And when I'm concerned, what do we do to make the son either trainable, have the skills to move forward, or do we have to sell the company? Another issue is that we have an employee who's been with us for a long time. Technology is involved, that person is not involved with the technology. What do we do with that employee? Another issue might be we have salesperson who started the company. The initial commission that we have paid that party was very substantial. We've been paying that person the same commission for the next 3 or 4 years, but they haven't really progressed in going forward. What do we do? So you have issues which are very close. I used to be in a trade association of all the mechanics or professional hand tool manufacturers in the country. And it was very good that you got a lot of trade information there. But I could never go there and say, I'm having trouble with XYZ account because my competition was there. I could never go there and say, I have a salesman or I have a key person who has an alcohol problem. What do I do? Uh, so you have these very intimate issues in addition to the general type issues that you can bring up to the group because there is a confidentiality that you basically have to agree to.
It's an amazing resource, no doubt. And I'd love to drill down and hear more about the group, but we are so quickly running out of time. I want to squeeze in one last question, Ray. At the opening of every Spotlight episode, I always say Spotlight introduces you to successful small business owners who share content and information that you don't want to miss. And I think that's what you've done, Ray, long before you and I met, is you wrote this book because after so many decades of successful or experience in the business world, and successfully so, you do share content and information with other small business owners that they really don't want to miss. Am I correct? Is that what motivated you to write this wonderful book?
Well, the primary purpose is to give, all these books are written primarily from a marketing perspective, but the primary purpose was to put out little short, I'll call vignettes of experience and concepts and ideas. And these are ideas from actual personal and also experience in facilitating the groups. I tell people that when I started these groups, I really must not have been that smart because I always learned something in every meeting. So I facilitated over 1,500 meetings, so I must have picked up 1,500 different experiences and ideas. So the aspect of the book is to really, and also the programs that we do, are to get information out to people.
Well, Ray, we are out of time. I'm so sorry to say. I do want to close by saying that I want to be like Ray Silverstein when I grow up. But in the meantime, if any of our viewers want to have a chance to speak to you, to pick your brain, to ask you questions about about your book, about any of the wonderful opportunities that you share with the small business community, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Well, they have two choices. One is they can either email me at Ray, R-A-Y, at ProPres, PROPRES.com, or they can call me or text me at 312-593-5133. I'll be very happy to give you my 2 cents worth. I don't charge my 2 cents. So I'm here to help. Basically, you get a satisfaction from helping others.
You're very generous with your time, and it's worth much more than 2 cents, that's for sure. Ray Silverstein, thank you again very much for taking time out of what I know is a very busy schedule for being a guest on Spotlight on Small Business.
Okay, thank you, Moshe.
If you'd like to be a guest on Spotlight, just send an email to team@powernetworkingteam.com and we'll make arrangements for the interview right away. Until next time, good luck and good networking.